Hello, friends, and happy Friday to one and all. I got the furnace going here. I forgot to turn it off. I hope you can hear me. Things have been odd here in audio. Welcome to the home of crappy audio, by the way. I think we fixed a few things tonight, and you're going to have to let me know. It's been blowing out there. You have to let me know if this is okay and if the filters are working and all that good stuff. But it should be good. And we got a little treat for later. We're gonna test something out. I think you're gonna have some fun with that. But it is Friday. I'm happy to be here, and I am smoking the Matches Memorial Friday 7 filled to the brim with Haunted Bookshop, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. And if I could move my chair, I'd get a little bit closer so I can see who we have thus far assembled. Little fuzzy audio. That's because the furnace is running, Phil. It'll quiet down in a minute or two. So just give it a bit of time. I promise once the furnace is off, it should be better. Okay, let's see. So we got Gordy. Hello there, Gordy. David G. Ivan. Nice to see you, Ivan. Ivan's got Wessex Burley Flake going. Alleganza Smooth. Nice. Love that Wessex Burley Flake. It's good stuff. Pondering with Pepe's Pipe, Jeffrey Feinberg, good to see you guys tonight. There's Daniel Leslie, always good to see you, Daniel. Declan Fletterjohn, Chris Weber, Big Dave, good evening, Big Dave. Big Dave, big night next week, Big Friday next Friday. Hope you're ready. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll talk more. Gonquin Breyer, Ghost Rider, Bona Piper, good to see you folks. The aforementioned Phil Rivera, Jimmy 513, Carrie, Rich Billick, nice to see you all. And there's Signal Man Tony from Rhode Island, Flint Hill Breyer, and I think we may be caught up at this point. I hope Grainy is referring to the sound there, Carrie. Again, furnace is on. You haven't been hearing it much lately because it hasn't been very cold lately. It's cold now. There's the Smooth Piper. Hello there, Peter. And Armchair Piper Ed. Good to see Ed. Couple of crazy weeks, Rich. Yeah. I know the feeling, believe me. Peter, of course, has got Haunted Bookshop going in his Friday 7 There's Gary Edminster. Cypress Piper. So yeah, I had an interesting week. All good stuff, all good. It's just October is always just this crazy, crazy month for me. The workload gets ridiculous because everybody wants something done before the end of the year. It's when we start our year-end evaluation period, which is crazy, but it's true. Basically, November and December don't count because we evaluated in October. And I had to give a lecture at university, which wouldn't normally be a problem, but I had a very ambitious student who wanted to present a paper before the lecture. So I had to sort of prepare for that and adjust the lecture to better sort of allow an integration of that paper and stuff. So that was more work than I wanted to do, but yeah, such is life. Oh, and we got a big presentation 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from Monday, which is just been a nightmare getting ready for. So yeah, it's been fun week, really fun week. But anyway, so now the furnace is done. Hopefully the audio is back to normal. I think I got the volume set right. I think we should be happy, but you have to tell me otherwise. And I apologize that I'm still playing around with it, but trust me, you'll be happy with you'll be happy with what I'm going to do in just a little bit. With the little yes, Phil Doctor said. That really made me laugh. Yeah, you'll be happy with the little experiment we're going to do later tonight, I promise. I don't like to let worlds collide, Declan, so I'm not going to tell you which university, but it's a well-known university in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you, Rich. Glad we got over that. Yeah. I will, as I remember, and depending on how cold my wife is, I will turn off the heat prior to doing the live stream when I can. But it's not too bad with the filters. I'm going to stop talking about it. People yell at me when I talk about the furnace. They say, I wouldn't even know it was on if you didn't say anything. But uh, I did mean on the menu, Rich. Yeah, I did. But yeah, if there was pumpkin nonsense above, that's good too. Especially if it's one of Eric's posts. Hillbilly Piper, good evening. Good to see you, Donnie. Yeah, I have a lot of fun. Eric, Mark in Rhode Island, Peter, the Smooth Piper, they all have been teasing me about my refusal to begin spooky season early, and that was a lot of fun to play that game. And then to occasionally point out something pumpkin flavored for Phil. It's a good time of year. Just a good time of year. Yes, Phil. Now I'll have that song stuck in my head the rest of the night. Thank you. Chris Kahn. Hope yours is starting out well as well. There's James Steidle. How you doing, James? Pumpkin soup is good. I might eat pumpkin soup, Carrie. If something's pumpkin flavored and it's really pumpkin flavored, like I don't mind pumpkin pie if it's not overspiced. I prefer sweet potato pie because I just think it tastes better. But pumpkin pie that's not overspiced is fine. But it's the pumpkin flavored things, the things that shouldn't be pumpkin flavored, like I don't know, coffee and tobacco and beer. Three most important things in my life should not be pumpkin flavored. I shouldn't have said it that way. The three most important consumables, how's that, in my life? I got the Linus reference anyway, Rich. I thought it was funny. I did get it. I kind of vaguely remember Campbell's having a pumpkin spice soup. I spent a couple of summers working for ShopRite. Was it ShopRite? I think it was ShopRite. Stocking shelves, and I often got the Campbell's soup shelf. And it was fascinating, some of the soups that I had never heard of that they used to sell. I doubt they still sell them. There used to be a Campbell's wonton soup. There was a pepper pot, which I actually like pepper pot soup. I don't know if any of you even remember pepper pot soup. Yeah, there were a lot of soups that I was surprised that they had, but they did. And pumpkin sounds right to me, Bill. Yeah, see, Doug, I disagree with you on that. I don't like, but I'm weird like that. I don't like things that are flavored. So cinnamon and sugar, not a big sweet guy. But I like squash. I'll eat like an acorn squash, and pumpkin's not that different. But a little bit of butter, salt and pepper. I don't want sugar and cinnamon on it. Pumpkin puree and chili. Well, that blows that whole beans, no beans thing right out the window, Carrie. Did Steph and Skip come in? I missed that. But hello, Steph and Skip, if you're there. Otherwise, Peter's hallucinating, which I guess is possible. Oh, you were right down the street from Campbell Soup. That's interesting. Night of the Demon. Night of the Demon. Why does that sound familiar? That's not an Italian film, is it, Doug? Ah, there's Stefan Skip. Good to see you. John D. What is my opinion of Baroncini pipes? I don't have one, John, but I'm sure someone else will. French Canadian pea soup? Really, Christian? I can't imagine what that is. I mean, pea soup is pretty. Pea soup with Canadian bacon in it instead of a ham bone? I'm sorry, that was not funny. But yeah, I saw Pepe mention pepper pot. Pepper pot is actually a tripe soup with lots of pepper in it. Ah, skips off again. Okay, Steph. Hope he's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Ah, Phil, I'm not gonna say that. I got the French mad at me too many times. And I've got too many good. Well, I've got one good French Canadian bread. I'll leave it at that. Ah, that is wonderful, Steph. Yes, it was Steph's birthday last weekend, so we should all sing happy birthday to her. A British spooky conjurer who conjures up incredibly scary stuff. Okay, that's not the movie I was thinking of. I will look for that, Doug. Thank you. Yeah, 50 seems much younger than it used to, Ed, for sure. Still a great accomplishment. That sounds delicious, David. What's that, Doug? Oh, I'm sorry. I switched over to football last Thursday. I didn't know they were still playing baseball. You know, Doug, the title sounds so familiar, and the uh, the description you gave is kind of vaguely familiar, but I think I'm thinking of another movie. So I'm going to actually. I know everybody loves it when I look stuff up and talk to you at the same time, but this is horror movies. This is important. During spooky season, I'm allowed to look up horror movies. I think I'm thinking of Night of the Demons, plural. You're talking about 1957. Okay. I do not know this one. Cool. I'm gonna check that out as soon as possible. Let's see if I can find. So I think Night of the Demons is an Italian. Oh no, that's not the one I was thinking of either. That's the one I'm trying to. I cannot remember the name of it, but it takes place in a movie theater, and it's an Italian movie where they all get locked in the theater and beaten up and killed by demons. That's. I just told you the whole plot of the movie. Uh, but I will definitely check out Night of the Demon. That sounds like a good one. I didn't know Mariners fans were that obnoxious. I mean, honestly, I've just kind of ignored them. I think. You know, Rich, I saw that news. Yeah, Ace Frehley passed away. And when I saw that he was 74 years old, um, I just, I felt very old when I read that because, like, how in the world could Ace Frehley be 74? Um, there you go. Pepe's got a 92-year-old grandfather who's kicking. Yeah. Age is just a number until it's not. And then what do you care? Why am I thinking there's a song with roller skates? Like, I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. That's a song that'll get stuck in your head. Steph, were you singing that all day on Saturday? I'm wondering. So it's more psychological. I like that, Doug. Autopsy of Jane Doe and Hell House LLC. They sound like they might be more slashery kind of movies there, Declan. And I know they've got their place and people love them. I'm not, I enjoy a more sort of psychological thriller or a true monster movie. I'm not really into the slasher type ones. I I'm glad you like the song, Steph. I don't hate the song, but it does get stuck in my head. And the only one that I don't want stuck in my head more than that song, I don't even want to. It's the my name is Michael. I have a nickel. That song. People used to sing that to me when I was a kid. for obvious reasons. And that's just a flood of memories I don't want to have. So. The Navy is the key to a good life, Ed? Well, you're living proof, right? John Brett, you can't be late. You're just in time. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of those kind of movies, Peter. But I did watch, I don't know if I remember if it was last Halloween or the one before, because my wife abandons me at Halloween time. She likes to go to Pittsburgh because they get all the kids in the neighborhood and stuff. So she likes to sit out and give them candy. We don't get kids around here. But I did last year or the year before watch the original Halloween because I hadn't seen it since it came out, and it was in the theaters, and I thought, well, let me give it a shot. And I was surprised at how unscary it was. It was just kind of an okay movie. I don't have any problem with it, but I just still remember it being much more shocking, and it just really wasn't. Rich, I wasn't going to say that, but I could. Lucky man, David. They now have no... You've got signs in your honor now, Steph. That's hilarious. Bad Dad, good evening to you. Attack of the Giant Crab Monsters. That's a wonderful movie, Gary. That's the kind of movie I love. Goofy, 1950s. Radiation either caused the problem or is going to fix the problem. Perfect. Autopsy of Jane Doe is not a slasher. Okay, Declan. I'm not familiar with it. It just sounded, but I'll check it out. Okay, Declan, I will look up both of them. Forgive me for assuming based on the names. But we're going to try something fun. You want to try something fun? I know you do. So any of you that tuned in, was it last week that we had JD on? I think it was last week. And saw that miserable, horrible attempt at a live stream that I did. Know that I've been trying to get some things working. Next week, and Big Dave, this is where you want to listen in closely. Next week, we're going to try an experiment. We're going to try to have a group viewing of, I'm not even sure I can say the name of the show, but it involves both peanuts and large pumpkins. And yeah, we're going to, because they took it away and we're bringing it back. Now, I was talking to my wife earlier about this, and I said, how long is it going to take them to copyright strike it and take it down? Like, are they going to do it during the live stream, or will they at least get to the end of the live stream before they take it down? And the more I thought about it, I thought, I'm not doing anything illegal because I own the DVD. And if I wanted to have you all over the house to watch it, that would be perfectly legal, right? So I'm just having a few good friends join me to watch something that I do own. So there you go. Anyway, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown next week. So you might want to tune in for that. We're not going to watch it straight through. We're going to pause it a couple times and talk a little bit, because if we do that, I think it technically is commentary or analysis or whatever. We can say it's for educational purposes because we all need to be educated about this classic film. So that's the plan for next week. And in order to prepare for that, I put together a little thing that I'm hoping works. We're going to try something here. It might fail miserably, but let's see. Yeah. There's a 30-second delay in this, which is going to be a problem. So got to work on that. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let me know if the audio is working.
Once upon a time, in a large forest, there lived a woodchopper, his wife, and their 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. It was a beautiful forest full of trees, flowers, butterflies, and streams. Matter of fact, there was just one thing missing.
Food! I must have food!
Food? Food isn't everything, dear.
No, but it's something.
But we have the trees, the flowers, the butterflies, the streams. What more could a body want?
A square meal, that's what.
Okay, spoil sport.
Now, you might think that in a forest as big as this one, the woodchopper would be able to bring back some game for the table. But a curious thing happened to him when he went out. He just couldn't pass a tree without chopping it down.
Well, I mean, after all, a wood chopper is to chop wood.
So, each night, the woodchopper would come home with lots of
Enjoy,
logs,
it's only
but
5
no
minutes
food.
long.
And what good are logs? You can't eat them.
Who says? Yummy. Anyone for roast leg of log?
I think we better split and get some food, Hansel.
Yeah, looks like Mom's a little kooky.
Kooky? I wish I had a kooky.
So, taking a few precious grains of parched corn, the children set out for the forest. Hours later, Gretel began to worry.
When we found food, how do we find our way back?
Easy. Remember those grains of parched corn? Well, I've been leaving them as a trail so we can find our way home. Some neat plan, huh?
That plan is for the birds.
And so it was. The birds had eaten all the corn. Hopelessly lost, the children wandered about until Hansel suddenly bumped into something that wasn't a tree.
Watch your step, stupid. You bumped right into that gingerbread house.
Gingerbread house?
Oh, isn't it cunning?
Cunning?
It looks good enough to eat. Have a piece of shutter.
I'm more of a shingle and doorman myself.
And in a few minutes, Hansel and Gretel had eaten a big hole in the little house. Then, suddenly...
Nibble, nibble like a mouse. Who is nibbling at my house?
There's always a catch. You're a wicked witch, aren't you?
Well, yes.
And you got all kinds of magic powers, true?
Well, no.
You can't breathe fire and smoke?
Nope. I just get dizzy.
You can't summon up demons?
I don't know. Hey, you demons! Tweet!
You got no magic powers at all?
Well, there is one thing I'm pretty good at. Turning children into aardvarks.
Yeah, at that you're pretty good.
But I don't really care much for aardvarks.
Then why do you keep changing children into them?
Because I care even less for children. Besides, I have the witch's tradition to uphold.
Isn't there something you'd rather do?
Oh, sure. I'd like to know how to ride a broomstick. Broom, boy. But what's the use? I'll never get off the ground.
If I show you how to ride a broomstick, will you change Hansel back again?
Of course, of course. But you aren't even a witch.
Oh, come now. There's a little bit of the witch in all of us girls. Give me the broom. Now, you take this broom.
Yeah, yeah.
And you twirl it all around.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you put it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And you sit right down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now you tell that broom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Fly around the room.
Da, 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 da,
And sure enough, Gretel began to fly.
Now me, now me.
But unfortunately, the witch hadn't asked how to turn the broom off. So, once she started it, she had to keep on going. And in a little while, she was in orbit around the Earth, where she remained to this day. But she did keep her word, for as soon as she had gone, Hansel turned back into himself. And so did Oddvox all over the world. In fact, Oddvox might have become extinct if it weren't for the fact that some Oddvox decided that they'd be happier remaining Oddvox. At any rate, Hansel and Gretel packed up the rest of the witch's house and started off. Of course, since they were in a magic forest, they soon came upon a huge talking duck.
Oh, Duck, would you tell us the way back to our cottage?
Je ne comprends pas.
Yes, unfortunately, this was a French talking duck. But he indicated that the children were to get on his back, and down the river they went. After a long while, the duck said,
Et voilà, nous avons arrivé.
which is French for end of the line.
Oh, joy! Home again!
For there, sitting on a log, was their father, not with his axe, but with a musket.
Father, why aren't you chopping down trees?
Well, Gretel, I finally decided that all that glitters is not trees. You can't buy happiness with trees. Besides, I've chopped them all down. Now it's hunting. Hunting is the only thing.
So, from that day on, Hansel and Gretel had plenty of food, and their mother never went hungry again.
You know, sometimes I wish he'd stuck to his wood chopping.
And there you have it. So I'm so happy that worked. Still got a few bugs to work out. I mean, it'll be fine for next week, but for the next interview that I want to do, the next conversations with pipe makers, I got to deal with that 30-second delay in the headset because that's going to drive me crazy. But we're getting there. We're definitely getting there, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually was really happy I found that one because I wanted to do something that was short and had a little bit of a spooky character to it, and I wanted it to be a classic cartoon, and that was the first thing that I came across, and I thought, good enough. So, good. Glad you enjoyed it. And Poem, I saw your comment regarding ham radio, and I think you're absolutely right for ham radio, but there's some rules about ham radio that are distinct from YouTube. I don't know. And again, we're not gonna show it in its original format. We're gonna break it up. We're gonna talk about it. It is being done not just for entertainment. I'm not charging for it. We'll see what happens. And if YouTube smacks me for it, then I won't do it again. But we're gonna have fun this one time. I'm probably not gonna advertise it. So I might put something sort of coded in the thing next week. I don't think I'll have a title card that says "Come watch the Great Pump." You know, that would probably be a mistake. But yeah, we'll have fun. And who knows, if it goes well, maybe we can have a monthly cartoon or something. You know? Maybe we'll start doing Saturday morning shows. Hey Cole, how's it going, buddy? San Sepulcro and a Kiko African mirror. Nice combination. You saying goodnight, Steph? Thanks for stopping in. It's great to see you. And give our best to Skip next time you talk to him. Patrick, did you slip in when I wasn't looking? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I got so excited by the cartoon showing. I forgot to drink. I've seen quite a few channels that do movie reviews by starting and stopping Ghost Rider. I think it's possible, but they might pay something for the rights, you know, some minimal fee because it's considered to be analysis or something. Oh, that's right, Phil. I remember you talking about the Saturday morning cartoons. Did you actually have the... I never knew what it was because I'm still not really on Facebook. Did you actually show the cartoons? Anyway, I need a drink. And tonight we are going to enjoy the last bottle of, as we decided to call it last time, it's Founder's Unclean Gentleman Without a Father. Yes, reaction videos, yes. I think it also depends a lot on what you're showing. You know, if you're showing a made-for-TV 1970s horror film, you're probably not going to get the same kind of attention as if you're showing, you know, well, the thing we're going to show. Or, like, you know, a movie that's still in the theater or something like that. That would probably be a no. A no-no. If I can do a better job pouring this than I did last week. Yeah, not too shabby. Oh, cool, Phil. I didn't know that you could actually show videos like that on YouTube. That's really cool. If I knew you guys were doing that, I might have... I'm sorry, I meant on Facebook. I might have done the Facebook thing sooner. What is going on here? Hopefully you're not seeing what I'm seeing right now. It just randomly switched over to the video player for some reason. Is Morgan just is he carving the unfinished pipes to look like pumpkins or something? I haven't seen them. It's probably true, Pipe Man Dan, that was definitely part of the Rocky and Bullwinkle world. Solar system, something like that. Carved a zombie face in the pipe that looks like a kid drew it. Peter, I'm done the haunted bookshop. The smooth piper wins again, I'm sure. I hope so, Big Dave. We're going to have fun. And hey, you know, this might set a precedent. If we get away with it, you know what that means for Thanksgiving. Pipe number 2 tonight. I'm going to be smoking my Talbert Squat Bulldog. It does not get enough love from me, but I do enjoy it. And we're going to go with more Haunted Bookshop because it is October, the month of Haunted Bookshop. Oh, Doug, that's truly a terrible joke there. That's quite a tall tale there, Doug. I remember that movie poem. I remember the Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Great movie. I know you are, Peter. But you're just you're a slower pup. If we're ever in a slow smoke contest together, Peter, I'm just going to bow out. Oh, they're laser engraved. Okay. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, I really like the looks of this pipe. It's the reason I say it doesn't get enough love from me is that it's a small bowl, and I do prefer a larger bowl than this, but it's a pretty looking pipe, and it performs beautifully. Just wish it had a bigger bowl. Mushroom leg. Igor and Bella have not come out of the coffin yet. I'm thinking this Sunday, so actually this weekend I'll do that. I usually do it right before, but yeah, I'd like to have it out for next week too. So yeah, we'll probably do it on Sunday. I used to always time it with the release of my Halloween special that I would make, but because of all the stuff I said at the beginning about October being a very busy month, I haven't been able to make a Halloween special in years. And honestly, I enjoyed making those, but nobody watched them. I mean, it's kind of sad how few views they got compared to just me talking about nonsense. So I kind of felt like it was a lot of work for not making very many people happy. Hey JD, how's it going, buddy? They're using clay pipes for a slow smoke? That's going to be interesting, Rich. JD, you got to have your priorities, and you can't be late here. It's a general rule. That's a nice variation on the seafood diet, Donnie. I'm trying to think who sang the song "The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance," and was it in that movie? I cannot remember if it was in that movie or not. But that was one of the vinyl records my dad had when I was a kid, and I really liked that song. I played that over and over. Horror movie trivia. I'm down for that as long as it's good horror movies and not Chainsaw Massacre and such. Limited edition J.D. Wolf pipe with Dracula stem. Very cool. No, it can't have been James Taylor. Could it? Gene Pitney. Yes, Gene Pitney. And was the Gene Pitney version in the movie? Classic horror movie. Well, we're gonna have a live stream on Halloween. So yeah, maybe we'll do some classic horror movie trivia. Assuming I can find some. Couch, how you doing, buddy? I'm not concentrating, Couch. Well, I kind of am. I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna look it up because the old brain just isn't what it used to be. Let's see. Who shot? Maybe. Yeah, the song was by Gene Pitney. That was 1962. Maybe James Taylor remade it, but it's Baccarat and Davis wrote it. 13 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. It was not used in the film. And there's a disagreement about whether that had ever been intended. Interesting. Let's see if there's a James T.A. James Taylor recorded a song titled The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance for his 1985 album. It's a cover of the 1962 Gene Pitney song. So, no, I think the movie was prior to that. The movie was 1962. Curse of the Werewolf with Oliver Reed. That's a good one, Peter. I'm always surprised at the fact that Oliver Reed was young when I watched that movie. Because most of the movies I know him from were much older. He was much older in those movies. David G switching to St. Bruno and a Falcon, and James Steidle just lit some Parsons Blend and a Peterson Bulldog. Good stuff. Reanimator's okay. Mushroom Leg, I don't mind that too much. Wouldn't be my first choice though. I really black and white horror is what I gravitate towards. But I'd watch Reanimator all day over something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Hellraiser or something like that, where it's just gory for gore's sake. That's just me, you know. I do like some of the Italian horror, the newer, well, not newer, I mean, these are like 80s movies, but um, like the Argento, Suspiria, and what was the one I just watched? Inferno, which is an interesting movie. Phil, I want that beer. I don't know what you're referring to there, but I want that beer. Uh, that's a great question, Cole. What's a movie that actually scared you? Tenebra is good too, Mushroom Lake. Yeah, Argento was good. Shaun of the Dead was a good one, bad that. That was a great movie, yeah. I've told this story before, but me and my dad used to work second shift, I guess it was, for a while. And so he'd stay up, he'd get home, in the late evening, and he'd stay up late and then go to bed. And sometimes like on a Friday night, I'd stay up late, or Saturday sometimes, and watch some movies with him. And he liked horror movies. And I wasn't that young. I mean, I was probably in high school. And this movie came on. And I talked about it before, and people said, "Oh, come on, it's not that scary," and I'm sure it's not. But this movie came on, and it was titled "Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things." And we're sitting there, lights down, just me and my dad. Everybody else is asleep, and this movie's on, and it was kind of creepy and I don't know if my dad was just being funny or if he was honestly scared, but he just a commercial came on, and he said, "I'm going to bed. This is too scary for me." And he was gone. And I'm sitting there in the dark with this movie on, and I'm getting more and more terrified by it. And it was this weird situation where I didn't want to get up and walk through the darkness to go to bed. And the movie just kept playing, and this was before remote controls, so yeah, it was. And people are gonna say, "Oh, it's not that scary of a movie." I know, but it was in the moment. It was just and it's a great memory of my dad too. Oh, I love those plastic models, David. Yeah. So we're getting votes for Frankenstein, The True Story, Poltergeist. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that's a scary one. Pet Cemetery. David Soul could do that, Peter. Yeah. I barely remember Salem's Lot. That would be terrifying, Paul. That sounds like a great memory, Phil. Twilight Zone could do that, David. I also remember, and being quite young at the time, being very creeped out by Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And I don't even think it was any of the story, plot, anything like that. It was more just the atmosphere of it. You found Gremlins to be scary, Gary? Because it had its moments, had some jump scares in it for sure. Those were the days, Phil, weren't they? Of course, nowadays, if her mother flips out at you on the front porch, you're probably getting arrested. So. I'll tell you a couple of genres of movies that I will not watch because I'm just scared thinking about it. Anything that's got dolls or clowns in it. There's nothing creepier than dolls and clowns, with the possible exception of a clown doll. Oh, Mushroom Leg, you just made my night. Troy set you up. Name That Pipe. The Night Stalker series had some scary. Yeah, I remember the Doppelganger episode. It was actually the last of the Night Stalkers. Really scared me when I was younger, when I was a kid. It's great to have you hanging, JD. Oh, Chris, that neighbor should be kicked out of the neighborhood, in my opinion. There's a guy in my neighborhood who dresses up like a clown and stands on people's lawns like the week or two before Halloween. And it is the creepiest thing you've ever seen. I mean, he does it at night. So you're driving along and they're standing on somebody's lawn is this clown. And he's just standing there. He doesn't wave, he just stands there. And I have no idea why he does it. If he ever stands on my lawn, he's going to have trouble. It's just creepy. Yeah, Steve, Dark Shadows is one of those things. I remember being scared of Dark Shadows, but I don't know that I ever watched it. It just the idea of it scared me. The commercials scared me and stuff. I don't think I ever got up the nerve to watch it. We're still here, Paragon. What time is it? Did I let the night get away from me? Oh, no. We usually go to 9:30. Yeah, there was a time when there was a lot of clown sightings. That was a weird time, too. Now we just have the one clown, which is enough. More than enough. James, that sounds like absolute nightmare fuel. Oh, Pum, that could be jarring as a young kid. What a disappointment, Rich. You think you're going to scare people and they know who you are? Oh, cool. Yeah, go stand on somebody else's lawn. Hey, you clown, get off my lawn. Vampire Circus. Don't think I've seen that one, Peter. I never liked Clarabelle, Gary. Bozo, it's interesting. I remember watching Bozo as a little kid, and that didn't bother me. For some reason, Bozo was okay, but Clarabelle creeped me out. Nicely done, Doug. Hope he's happy. I knew Clarabelle was a guy. Was that ever a question, Doug? I just always thought Clarabelle was a guy. That's a good question, Donnie. What is the science behind clowns being universally terrifying? I have a theory on it, which is that clowns are just creepy as all get out, and therefore they're universally terrifying. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people that. I mean, there's clinical fear of clowns. There's like a paralyzing fear of them. No, Clarabelle was on Howdy Doody. Bad Dad. You think it's the masking of expression, Phil? It could be. You have a great weekend too, Christian, and thank you for that. Hope you have a good one. Give our best to Marie. Yes, Mushroom Leg. The people that buy the clown dolls, those people are very, very troubled. Yeah. And Cole, I would not watch that movie. I read the book. Long time ago, I read the book, and without realizing what I was getting myself into. But the movie, no way, no way. Yeah, I think you guys are definitely onto something with the cannot read intentions, cannot read expressions, especially with dolls. I mean, that's clearly the case with dolls because they're just kind of frozen. But clowns, I don't know. I think there's more to it than that. If you ever get really close up with a clown, that's scary. I went, I might have told this story before, and I think this is the genesis of my clown phobia. Uh, my parents took me to the circus when I was very young, so I didn't have siblings yet, so I would have been less than 5 years old. And we went to Ringling Brothers Circus, Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey, which I don't think exists anymore. It's kind of sad. Um, and it was in the Philadelphia Spectrum, which doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of sad. And there was an intermission, and so we get up and we're like walking around, and I think I bought one of those things that you spin and it makes noise and sparks. I didn't buy it. My parents bought it for me. one of those old tin toys that you're not allowed to have anymore because you get cut on them and get tetanus or something. Anyway, I'm standing there with that and probably some candy or something, and my dad has to go off to the men's room, so it's me and my mom, and they have the clowns wandering around the concourse, and this clown sees me and comes over, and he's like leaning over me and talking to me, and I just have this image of this clown's face, and I can see like the pores coming through the makeup and stuff. And I'm terrified, and my dad's not there, and I don't know what to do, and I just remember like just screaming. It was horrible. So Phil, you were a clown. That's interesting. I don't know that one, Gary. I don't know Splinter and Thinner. I've never seen. I actually haven't seen a lot of Stephen King movies. I read quite a few of his books back in the day, and then they just got repetitive. So I don't think I've seen many of his movies. I saw The Stand, which was a TV series. I remember watching that. It was like on the Sci-Fi Channel, I think. That's interesting, Doug. So they weren't scary prior to 1970. Interesting. Yeah, carnivals are interesting because you go to them as a kid and it's like this magical world of wonder, and you go as an adult and you're like, oh, why are people bringing kids here? Rodeo clowns aren't scary, says Flint Hill. Not when they're being chased by the bulls, and I'm rooting for the bulls. I don't know, Doug. I honestly don't think I've ever seen a scary clown movie. And I've been afraid of clowns for as long as I can remember. Yeah, Cole, that's funny. Poor guy had best intentions, and you're scaring the heck out of this little kid chasing him through a haunted house. It was the Wolfman. Ah! Yeah, ventriloquist dummies kind of go into that doll category. There is a movie called Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I have watched it. It's mostly comedy, but honestly, I don't like to watch that movie. I won't watch it. I just simply won't do it. Yeah, Chris, again, that guy has to be investigated and possibly ejected from the community. I'm sorry, anybody who's going to publicly put out clowns or dolls needs to be questioned at least. So I'm a little biased tonight, if you know. Trying to think of the name of the movie I saw just recently. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's about a haunted house that is haunted by the ghost of a young girl who has a clown doll. And it was very creepy. What was that called? It wasn't a classic movie. It was on I think it was on Creature Features. Or one of the Creature Features variants, Fridays with Livingston or whatever. But I can't remember what it was. Ronald McDonald. I never found Ronald McDonald to be inviting or in any way make me want to have McDonald food. That just really bothered me. Especially when he was hanging out with that Hamburglar. That guy was creepy. A python got into Clarabelle's suit? That's pretty funny. No, Cole, everybody does not need to do that. Hey, Chris, that whole trunk or treat thing has ruined trick or treat here because that's all they do. So you never see kids trick or treating anymore. And for guys like me, well, me and my wife, I mean, I wouldn't do it myself, but she loves trick or treat. She loves seeing the kids dressed up and giving them candy and all that. And we're two old people, don't have any kids. We can't go hang out at the school parking lot and give out candy. That's just not going to work. So it's kind of sad. But I understand the concept. I get it, but I just think parents are overly protective. Now, if Elvira put on clown makeup, Phil, that would be different. Yeah, I'm not going to watch anything with a puppet segment, Doug. Killer Clowns from Mars? Is that different from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Steve? What are we doing time-wise? 10 minutes. I'm gonna do another pipe, but probably not stay for the whole pipe. Santa Claus versus the Martians. There's a movie. Yeah, Willard Scott as Ronald McDonald, that old original Ronald McDonald was kind of creepy. I don't know if that's just because we only see it in like the grainy uh, quality now and comparing it to modern quality, but yeah, there's something creepy about that. Yeah, Chris, that's not going to happen. Yeah, that's a nice variant there, James. But I mean, when I was a kid, and when I was really little, my dad or my grandfather would take me door to door, but we'd walk all over the neighborhood. We'd probably walk 10, 15 blocks in each direction, and we'd be out for hours. And it was just like a parade of kids in costumes, and yeah, it just doesn't happen anymore. And then when I got a little bit older, I used to just go by myself with my friends. And then we got to that age that Phil was complaining about, where you just show up with a pillowcase, and I never did that, but yeah, it did happen. I remember it being kind of sad the year that I realized I couldn't go trick or treating anymore. Yeah, we don't want mimes at midnight. You know my whole theory about mimes and magicians, right? Oh, Chris, one of the highlights of Halloween was going to the rectory and to the convent. And the nuns in particular, they used to love to have the kids come in and talk about you're a little vampire, things like that. It was really nice because when you were a kid in the classes and stuff, you never got to see them as people, and it was an opportunity to actually see them as human beings. I know that sounds strange, but when you're a product of 12 years of Catholic school, you have a very different view of the teachers than kids probably do today. But anyway, it was something I always looked forward to because they would kind of fuss over you, and it was kind of nice. And the nuns always gave you one of those big popcorn balls. And as soon as I got home, my mother would go through the bag, and any homemade stuff got thrown out. We weren't allowed to eat it because my mom was paranoid. I'm like, the nuns made it. How could it be bad? Nope, never. I probably watched my mother throw away like 100 popcorn balls. Never tasted one. Oh yes, Rich. Animaniacs was fantastic. You can't go back, David. No. That's just sick, Doug. I just can't imagine why anybody would do that. But I know it did happen. Oh, yeah, the hospitals used to x-ray the candy. That's right, Chris. I forgot about that. Yeah. We never did it. But I remember that being a thing, yeah. You had that too, Ed? Yeah. I think it was an evil dentist, Doug. I think you're right. There was candy that you would get for Halloween that you never saw any other time of the year. I remember there were these little what were they called? I think they're called BB bats or something like that. There were these little rectangular toffee things with a stick in them, and there were different flavors, and the banana flavor was one of my favorites. Yeah, the wax lips, that was another one that you'd get. You had the little wax bottles. Candy corn, of course, yes. That sounds interesting, Cole. Sugar daddies, those, yes, yes, Big Dave. And I don't think I ever saw sugar daddies out in the wild. It was only Halloween candy. Mary Jane's, yeah. I liked Mary Jane's. Chunkies with raisins and peanut butter and raisins and peanuts and chocolate. That's an interesting combination, man. That, and I got to admit that the only place I know where you can get them is at the CVS pharmacy. For some reason, they sell them, and every once in a while, like oh maybe once every couple of years, when I'm picking up a prescription or something, I'll get one because I just kind of get nostalgic about the flavor of those. They're not good. I think Squirrel Nut Zippers and Mary Jane's were very similar, Rich. I, I can't quite remember the Squirrel Nut Zippers as well, but I think they were similar. I wouldn't recommend that, Flint Hill, but yeah, you could. Where does the time go indeed, Gary? Seven Up bars, I do not remember those at all, Rich. Marathon, I do. I don't remember what they were. I just remember there were things called Marathon bars. Yeah, Doug, it's not really a question that it's really a rhetorical question, isn't it? Yes, we've gone over, Patrick, indeed. And I'm a little slow tonight. Seven flavors in one bar, huh? Interesting. Pipe Pollard, this is the Matches Memorial Friday 7, Ellie. What I started with tonight. I just reloaded it after I finished up the Talbert. Chico sticks, Phil. Chico sticks, which did not taste like candy at all. Ah, yes, the wonders of All Saints' Day, indeed, Armchair Piper. I remember that. Oh, thank you, Pipe Pollard. It's a 7 LE Roma Lucite 676. I always get the number wrong. Somebody else will tell you what the number is. Oh, yes, that Neapolitan coconut candy. Yeah. I like coconut, so I ate those. Six seven three, thank you. 7LE Roma Lucite 673 KS. You know, guys, I'm gonna put a little piece of tape up on my computer and write 673 on it, so I stop forgetting that because it's embarrassing. Ludens. That'd be sad. You get a box of cough drops in your Halloween candy. Almond Joy, those are good. Another coconut-based candy. Or if you want to be sad, you eat the Mounds that doesn't have the almond. Well, folks, we're gonna wind down. Chicken bouillon cube. No, you know what would be really mean is baker's chocolate. That would be a very mean thing to put into a Halloween candy bag. All right, Ed. You have a great weekend, buddy. Ramen noodles. Oh yeah, the dots on the paper strips, the little candy dots, and pixie sticks, the little tubes of sugar. Forgot about those. Well, folks, I'm about to finish up here, but I just want to remind you all, next week we are going to attempt to do the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. The test run tonight went well, so we'll see how long YouTube lets us get away with it. Yeah, hopefully it'll be a good night. So something to look forward to next week. Again, I'm not going to heavily advertise that just to not draw attention, but you all know, and hopefully I'll see you all then. I'll be back on Sunday. I think Bella's going to come out of his coffin on Sunday, so if you're into such things, and I don't know if I'll do anything Halloween themed on Sunday, but we can at least wake up Bella, because he's had enough rest for one year, I'm sure. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, tune in on Sunday morning, and you'll get to see it then. So with that, my friends, you all have a great weekend and great week ahead. And if I don't see you on Sunday, I will see you next Friday. Thanks much for joining us. Take care.